11 Reasons Why Aquarius Drives People Crazy. Have you ever found yourself trying to connect with an Aquarius, only to feel like they're living on a completely different planet? Aquarians are known for being forward-thinking, innovative, and full of surprises, but their complex personalities can also drive people crazy. On one hand, they're the most intellectually stimulating people you'll ever meet. On the other, they can be emotionally distant, unpredictable, and so independent that it feels impossible to get close to them. In this video, we're diving into 11 reasons why Aquarians can drive you absolutely crazy, whether it's their need for freedom, their detached attitude, or their tendency to push people away. We'll uncover the quirks that make them both fascinating and frustrating. So buckle up, because you're about to get a closer look at why Aquarians are both the best and the worst, all wrapped into one. 1. They're incredibly detached. Aquarians are often described as emotionally detached, and for good reason. They have a unique ability to separate themselves from their emotions and focus entirely on logic and reason. While this makes them brilliant problem solvers, it also makes it incredibly hard for people around them to feel emotionally connected. When an Aquarius is faced with an emotional situation, instead of reacting like most people would, they're more likely to sit back, analyze it, and rationalize it away. For those looking for comfort, understanding, or empathy, this can feel like a cold, emotional wall. Their detachment doesn't mean they don't care, far from it, but they simply don't show it in the typical ways. When a friend is upset or a partner is in need of emotional support, the Aquarius might struggle to show the warmth and compassion expected. Their default mode is always to process everything intellectually, which can make them seem distant, even if they have the best intentions. 2. They're extremely independent. Aquarians prize their independence above all else. This isn't just about wanting personal space, it's about a deep, inherent need to stay free from any sort of dependence, whether emotional, physical, or financial. For an Aquarius, maintaining their freedom means not being tied down by relationships, expectations, or societal norms. While this trait can be incredibly refreshing, it also makes it difficult for others to get close to them. If you're looking for someone who wants to share every moment with you or is ready to commit fully to a relationship, an Aquarius may not be the one to turn to. Their desire for independence often leads to them resisting control or even simple guidance, making it hard to work alongside them in close-knit teams or relationships. Aquarians prefer to do things their way, on their own time, and on their own terms. This resistance to collaboration can leave others frustrated and feeling shut out, especially when they value teamwork and emotional intimacy. 3. They're often unpredictable. One of the most challenging things about Aquarians is their unpredictability. Ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden changes and rebellion, Aquarians can often surprise you with their out-of-the-blue decisions and actions. One minute, they're fully committed to a project or relationship, and the next, they could completely detach or change direction without warning. Their erratic nature can leave people feeling like they're on a roller coaster, unsure of what to expect next. Aquarians thrive on change and excitement, which can make them seem unreliable or even chaotic to others. While their unpredictability might be fun in some situations, it can cause frustration in more stable or committed relationships. If you're looking for consistency or someone to stick with a plan, an Aquarius might drive you crazy with their ever-changing priorities and spontaneous decisions. 4. They're know-it-alls. Aquarians are intellectuals at heart, and they often pride themselves on knowing more than the average person. This can be incredibly admirable, as their knowledge often stretches across a wide range of topics. But sometimes, this thirst for knowledge turns into a tendency to act like they know everything. They can easily become the know-it-all in conversations, interrupting others with their opinions, facts, and insights, whether asked for or not. While Aquarians' intelligence can be incredibly helpful in certain situations, it can also be frustrating for those around them. They may dismiss others' opinions or ideas if they don't align with their own, and their constant need to prove they know the right answer can make others feel unheard or inferior. What starts as a desire to share their brilliance can easily turn into an aura of superiority, leaving others feeling undervalued or ignored. 5. They can be emotionally detached in relationships. When it comes to relationships, Aquarians often struggle with emotional intimacy. While they value deep intellectual connections, they can be emotionally distant, making it hard for their partners to feel truly connected. Aquarians approach relationships with a logical mindset, which often leads them to rationalize feelings instead of experiencing them. This makes them seem cold or indifferent, especially when their partner needs emotional support or reassurance. This emotional detachment doesn't mean they don't care, it's just that they have a hard time opening up and being vulnerable. For an Aquarius, the emotional needs of a relationship might not always take priority, especially if they're focused on ideas or personal goals. This can be incredibly frustrating for those who crave emotional closeness or who need their partner to engage on a deeper, more intimate level. 6. They have a rebellious streak. Aquarians have a natural rebellious streak that makes them question everything, rules, norms, and even authority. Their desire to challenge the status quo is one of the key traits that makes them stand out. While this rebellious nature is often seen as a positive thing, inspiring change and innovation, it can also make them difficult to deal with. They're not afraid to break the rules or push boundaries, and this defiance can lead to conflict, especially in situations where conformity is expected. Aquarians have little patience for authority figures, and they tend to do things their own way, often disregarding conventional wisdom. This makes them difficult to work with or live with, as they don't always respect the rules and structures that others rely on. While their rebellious streak can lead to creative breakthroughs, it can also create tension in relationships and teams where cooperation and respect for the rules are key. 7. They can be aloof and detached from social situations. Aquarians are often seen as aloof in social situations. While they can be friendly and enjoy intellectual conversations, they tend to keep their distance emotionally, which can make them seem detached or disinterested in what's happening around them. Their focus is often on ideas, concepts, or their inner world, leaving little room for small talk or typical social interaction. This aloofness can make it difficult for people to engage with them on a deeper level. In group settings, Aquarians can seem like they're not fully present, often lost in thought or observing from the sidelines. This behavior can create a sense of distance, as others may feel that the Aquarius is uninterested or indifferent to the conversation. Their reluctance to engage in light-hearted, emotional, or traditional social exchanges can make them seem standoffish or even rude, which can make socializing with them feel awkward or uncomfortable. 8. They don't always follow through. Aquarians are known for coming up with brilliant ideas, but the problem arises when it comes to following through. Their minds are constantly buzzing with new projects, concepts, and innovations, but they often lack the motivation to complete them. This can be especially frustrating for others who rely on them or expect them to deliver. Aquarians may jump from one idea to the next without finishing what they started, leaving people around them feeling let down or neglected. This tendency to start many projects but finish few can create instability in both personal and professional relationships. While their ideas are often groundbreaking and exciting, the lack of follow-through can cause frustration. Others might feel like they're left to pick up the pieces or deal with the consequences of the Aquarius's lack of consistency. This can be a source of tension, especially when the Aquarius's brilliance is overshadowed by their inability to complete what they begin. 9. They can be overly idealistic. Aquarians are idealists at heart. They dream of a better world, one that's more inclusive, progressive, and forward-thinking. While this idealism can be inspiring and lead to positive change, it can also be impractical and overwhelming. Aquarians often envision grand, sweeping changes but may overlook the practical details needed to bring their vision to life. This tendency can make them seem out of touch with reality or unrealistic in their expectations. Their idealism often clashes with the more practical, grounded realities of life, which can be frustrating for those around them. While Aquarians might be striving for perfection and the greater good, they sometimes fail to consider the limitations and challenges that others face. This can lead to disappointment, as their idealistic dreams often don't align with what's possible in the real world. Those who are more pragmatic may find it difficult to relate to the Aquarius's constant push for radical change without fully considering the consequences. 10. They can be too detached to show care. One of the most frustrating things about Aquarians is their inability to show care in the way others expect. While they may deeply care about the people around them, their method of showing it can often seem too detached, distant, or impersonal. Instead of offering the typical emotional reassurance or physical affection, Aquarians tend to approach care through intellectual means. They'll offer advice, brainstorm solutions, or talk about concepts, but they rarely engage with others on an emotional level. For someone who needs nurturing, a hug, or a reassuring word, an Aquarius can seem cold or indifferent. They might assume that their logical support is enough, but this lack of emotional engagement can create a sense of isolation. This emotional distance makes it difficult for others to feel emotionally supported by them, as Aquarians may be more focused on fixing the problem rather than showing empathy or validating feelings. Their desire to keep things detached can leave people feeling like they're not truly cared for, even though the Aquarius may have deep affection for them. 11. They resist labels and expectations. Aquarians pride themselves on being unique, individualistic, and free from societal constraints. They resist being boxed in by labels, whether it's about their personality, their career, or their relationships. This resistance to labels can be both empowering and frustrating. On one hand, Aquarians are constantly challenging norms and defying conventions, which makes them excellent innovators and visionaries. On the other hand, their refusal to conform can leave others feeling confused or unsure about where they stand with them. This trait also means that Aquarians can be unpredictable in their behavior. They won't fit neatly into anyone's expectations, and they often avoid traditional paths because they want to carve out their own identity. For those who prefer stability or want to understand exactly where they stand in a relationship, Aquarians can feel like a constant enigma. Their resistance to labels and expectations can make it difficult to know how to interact with them, leaving others feeling unsettled or even excluded. In conclusion, Aquarians are fascinating but complex individuals. Their quirks and behaviors can drive people crazy, but they also offer an entirely different perspective on life. Their intellectual prowess, rebellious nature, and quest for individuality set them apart, but these very traits can also make them difficult to understand and connect with on a deeper level. While their detachment, unpredictability, and resistance to labels might frustrate those around them, these traits also make them visionaries capable of pushing boundaries and driving change in the world. So, if you know an Aquarius, or if you are one yourself, embrace the contradictions and complexity that come with this sign. They may challenge your thinking, leave you guessing, or push you out of your comfort zone, but they also offer unique insights that few others can. Remember to approach them with patience and an open mind, as their quirks are what make them both maddening and magnetic at the same time. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you know an Aquarius who drives you crazy, or maybe you're one yourself? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know which of these traits you can relate to the most. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Zodiac content.